Welcome to the shop with Brett. I'm going to show you how to make a European mount out of the deer you got this year. Let's get started. So the things you're going to need is a big pot that can fit your deer head, a knife, black electrical tape, big small wire brush, a screwdriver, OxyClean, and a heating source like an electric burner, or you can use something like your outside barbecue grill if it has a burner on the side of it. With your deer head, you're going to want to take off all of the skin, as much meat as possible as well, inside the eyes, all the way through here, and the other side. Because the more meat you leave, the longer you're going to have to boil it. So take off as much as you possibly can. After you get as much meat off as possible, you're going to take your black tape and you're going to cover the bottom of your antlers. Anything that comes close to the pot or touches the pot or is inside the pot, because when we start boiling and add that OxyClean, it will actually start to whiten the antlers. You're not going to be able to avoid it completely, but I do have a video right here that shows you how to fix that problem once it's all done. The next step is we're going to get the pot heated and boiling. So now I got my pot on the burner. I just turned it on. The water level's good. And the next step is to add in the OxyClean. If you wait to put the OxyClean in while it's really boiling, a lot of the times it's going to foam up and boil over. So it's best to put it in right when you get it on the heat. You don't need a lot, about that much. It's not a whole ton of it. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. I'm gonna let this heat up for a little bit longer, probably another 15 minutes, and see where the heat is at. Hopefully it's starting to boil pretty good. And then once that happens, we're gonna add in the deer head. So the pot is heating up. We're gonna go ahead and put the deer head in. This is a 9-inch pot. So this is a big deer. So if you have big deer, a good 9-inch pot is a good pot to have. It just fits in just barely. You can still see a little bit of the top of the head. You'll notice that the tape is protecting it from the liquid and the edges of the hot pot. So that's why the tape is very important when you do this. Now this is a big deer. This is a 9-inch pot. So you really need to keep an eye on it because it barely fits. You don't want anything to boil over. So watch your heat, pay attention to this. So we're gonna actually watch this and let it boil for about 30 minutes and then check the deer. And this process can take a few hours. It's gonna take some time to get it just right because you have so much meat and everything underneath what's inside the mouth that you have to remove if you haven't removed it before. You have the brain, everything from that's still inside the eyes to the brain has to be removed as well. So take your time with this. Make sure if you're using propane, you have enough propane. Using electric, some kind of heating source, make sure you got enough power because it does take a little bit to do right. I have seen the process where you do this and then you use a power washer. They think it's good after that. I'm not convinced. I tried the power washing one years ago, didn't work right. And one thing, if you do the power washing technique, around the nasal cavity, below the eyes, you can't see it because it still has some skin there, you're gonna lose a lot of that because of that power washer. So that's why if you do the power washing technique, just let you know everything in the nasal cavity, the sides and the front, you're gonna lose all that. But with this technique, you're gonna keep all of that look. And one thing I'm doing, since this head is quite big and it barely fits the pot, is while it's boiling, I'm kind of using my wire brush and my knife, just kind of working that extra meat back and off. And the reason why I'm doing that is it just saves a lot of time while it's loosening up versus trying to get it off later. And the one thing you need to know is the more you pull this out to clean it, you're gonna lose water. Now, if you have a smaller deer, it's not so much of a hassle because you'll have plenty of water. With a big deer like this, you're gonna lose water and you're gonna wanna put more into the pot and get it nice and hot so it can keep on boiling. So if you're gonna add water, make sure the water is hot. So in that way you don't have to keep on heating up the water. So next, I feel like it's time to start the process of removing the meat, the extra meat. You see it start to peel and pull up. One thing that I like to do is grab the big sections like this with my pliers. So pulling those off. We're gonna have to boil for a good while till everything is gone. Next I'll get my wire brush and start to brush all this stuff off. I'll grab my big one, just come down like this, and it loosens stuff up. You may not remove it all, but you're loosening the rest off so it's easier to get off. So you're gonna rotate between your wire brushes and your pliers. Pull all this off. You know, look inside the cavity here. Start brushing away. And why you want to loosen it up, it actually helps get to the other meat that needs to be removed, especially on the back over here. Look at the bottom, grab that, pull that off. Then when you're satisfied with what you have, go ahead and put it back into the pot. Because we're going to be doing this as many times as need be until everything is removed. Now with your screwdriver, we're going to enter the brain cavity. It's boiling really nice and a lot of the meat is moving off really nice and falling off. But you can see right here why I don't power wash, because I want all that detail into it. Let's get back to what we're talking about, the brain cavity. Now you can do this before you put the deer in, the deer head in, or during. So I'm taking my screwdriver right in there. Just gonna do that. You really want to get in there and just turn it to mush. Because that brain connects to a cavity inside the eye as well, on both the eyes. So you want to get rid of that. We're gonna just wiggle as much of that brain out as possible. And it's gonna take a few times to get it out. That hot water kind of pulls out the rest of the brain. So we're gonna put it back in, let it go longer. Been boiling for a while. See where we're at here. Looking really good. The biggest thing, the longer you let it boil, is the brains, and then the eye cavity and the nose cavity. You get your pliers, just stuff right here, so you're yanking that out. Make sure you don't grab the bone. And the stuff in that eye cavity and the brain cavity and this nose cavity, they're all pretty well connected together. And you're gonna have some cartilage here. You can keep the cartilage or you can pull it out like that. And the longer you let it boil, the easier it's gonna be to come out. So what I'm gonna do is give it a wiggle with the brain. Go back in with the screwdriver. Just mashing that up. Give it another wiggle. You can see it really starting to come out. Grab your brush, wire brush, and just keep on hitting it, loosening things up. They'll boil off. Remove as much as possible. And just repeat this process until it's fully free of all this nasty meat and skin and whatever's left. So it is the next day. I just repeat the process until it's cleaned out. Looks really nice. Really nice. And one thing about doing this method, you can get it whiter. There is a paste you can buy. You'll notice on the top of the head, it's still a little bit yellowish. And you can do the process again until it's gone, or you can buy the whitening paste. But this method is a cheap method to European your deer without spending hundreds of dollars. This is an easy way to get rid of all the extra meat that is left on the deer head once you skinned it out. And if you notice down here, the bottom of the antlers, you'll see they're a little bit whiter, and that's because the OxClean got into the tape. But I do have a video right here on how to fix that. So we are very blessed to get this deer, to share the meat with our friends and our families, and it's a gift from God that we will never take for granted, and we are so grateful. And if this video helped you guys out, please give the channel a like and subscribe. Until next time, God bless you and have a great day.